Hey folks, welcome to SC Hollers. I'm Saxon Wine, and today we're getting into the blueprint collection of the Parallax rifle. Now, this one, the Parallax rifle, is something that I use consistently and have since the rifle released. It's fairly easy to get, and we're going to go talk about that here in a minute, but you're going to need Foxwell Enforcement Reputation, or at least the very first entry mission complete. And without further ado, let's get into this haul. So for this video, we're going to focus on the neutralized ship jacking gang, and you can do this at any level: yellow, orange, or red. Yellow obviously being the easiest, and this is going to give us the base color parallax, so the blue one that you find pretty much at any Hathor site. And that's going to be the important piece. You need to do different missions based on Foxwell enforcement in order to get the other blueprints. Again, we are going to focus on this one, and let me go ahead and show you the other missions just so you can see. We're going to head over to SCMDB. So we're taking the yellow level contract, and that is the ship jacking contract. It's somewhere on here, but what I wanted to show you on SCMDB specifically is, depending on which Foxwell mission you do, will give you a different blueprint. So Ambush and Amateur will give you the Sunstone blueprint. If you're doing clear shipjacking group, that's the base assault rifle, which is what we're looking for. Your defend missions give you the shock trooper, neutralized shipjacking gang. Routine patrol will give you sanguine, and then again, surprise strike, which is your ambush mission, gives you sunstone. So depending on which mission you want to do or which blueprint you're going for, requires a different mission, all of which are under Foxwell enforcement. Now, for this mission in particular, you're going to have to defeat 2 or 3 waves of enemies. Mostly they're filled with like hornets, freelancers, and smaller ships like that. But it's important for you to know, like, make sure that you don't have a toddler that needs their butt wiped, because if you're just sitting there in the middle of your mission, I mean, you're gonna die if the NPCs are actually moving around. And I mean, your ship's gonna get disabled, and you're going to explode, and then you're going to end up back at Maria Pure of Heart. So once I got back, the enemies actually weren't moving at all. They weren't shooting, and this was a common bug in 4.8 and 4.8.1. I was told, and I saw in the patch notes, this was potentially fixed in 4.8.2. This video was recorded while 4.8.1 was still out earlier in the week, so this possibly have changed, but we do have the blueprint now, so let's head on over to the Fabricator. So the Foxwell enforcement missions actually are shareable with your friends, so if you want to get the blueprint for more than just yourself, be sure to get a group together. Those missions will go by much easier. You can get the blueprints far more quickly. But the ingredients for the Parallax rifle is where things start getting difficult, because it requires keranite, gold, and tungsten, all of which need to be found at very specific locations across the verse. So let's go ahead and open up the Fabricator and take a look at what we need for the Parallax. We're going to hit the hammer, select primary, because for some reason Parallax won't show up if I don't select primary for some reason. And here we go. So keranite is going to be for our power regulator. This is going to affect impact force. You're going to need 1 unit of keranite. This is going to be probably the most difficult piece to get, and we'll go into that a little bit later. The next one is going to be gold, and gold can only be found in very specific locations, more so than keranite, and that's also going to affect your impact force. Lastly, we have tungsten, and tungsten affects our recoil kick, smoothness, and handling. Tungsten is probably the easiest of the 3 to get, but it still is only found in very specific locations and only a handful of locations on the list. But let's go ahead and start with keranite. And why did I zoom out so far? Let's just reset real quick. So I'm in Hurston, or I'm at Lorville, so we're going to start in the Hurston system, and our first stop is going to be Aberdeen. Now, for any veteran, you're going to know that keranite only spawns at the Ruptura or Vivair OLPs. These are the Hathor locations. You have to align all the satellites, fire off the laser, and then a cave will open, which will then provide keranite and other gemstones. On Daymar in the Crusader system, you also have the Tritus OLP and the Lamina OLP locations. And again, those are Hathor locations. Those are the only spots that you can find keranite. So you have 4 locations. You have to align all the lasers, fire off the laser, or excuse me, align all the satellites, fire off the laser, the cave open up, so you can then collect keranite. Now that's going to be probably your most difficult one. It is a very popular place to go, and a lot of people say it's probably the best content that's in Star Citizen currently, even to this day, even though it's over a year old. We're going to move on though and go to gold, and my first spot's going to be in pyro, and this is going to be for my surface miners like myself. So if you enjoy being on the surface of moons and planets, your first spot's going to be Ignis, but you can also find gold on Vatra. And Vatra has a very dense atmosphere, so if you're in a mole, I would not recommend going here. It's almost as bad as our next location, which is Terminus. Now, Terminus, if you're in a Prospector or a Golem, might be your best bet because Ruin Station is right here, and Ruin Station has a refinery. So that would be where I would go if I were in a smaller ship. Now, for my asteroid miners, you can stay in Pyro. There is gold in some of the asteroid clusters in Pyro, but in Stanton, you have the gold belt, as I like to call it. And so that is going to be Crew L4, Arc L5, as well as Mike L3. In this belt right here, each one of these locations has gold in them, and like just regular gold rocks. So you can go to any of these 3 locations. You should be able to find gold fairly easily. I have been able to do it every single time without issue. Now, moving on to tungsten. Why did my map zoom on now, Hurston? But we're going to keep on theme with the space asteroid mining. If you like space asteroid mining, you can find tungsten at Her L2 as well as Arc L2 around ArcCorp. Another location is going to be Arc L1, so you can go to either of the 2 locations, Arc L1, Arc L2. You should be able to find tungsten at those locations, and the final spot is going to be Arc L4. There are other locations that you can go to, but generally they'll be found in laranite, and so you'll have to find laranite, and then you'll get a percentage of tungsten in those rocks. Laranite is good for a bunch of different components as well. Now, if you want to go to Pyro, Adir is going to be my #1 recommended location. You can also find tungsten on Fyro. Fyro, again, has a dense atmosphere. Not as bad as Vatra and Terminus, but it is still very, very dense. So I wouldn't recommend bringing a mole here. The last location, and I can't confirm this, but SCMDB shows that tungsten is no longer available on Monox. Previously it was. So if you are a Monox miner, I would just confirm that there is tungsten located there. Otherwise, it's just going to be Adir and Fyro. You can find tungsten in Pyro. That aside, if you enjoyed this video, I would appreciate it if you hit that like and subscribe button. If you want to know when I post a video, press the notification bell next to the subscribe button. And again, I am Saxawine with SC Haulers, and we will see you at the next haul. Love you. Bye.